the very rim of known space, justice is a long way away.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie Podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian. And joining me, as always, is your co-host, Spaz.
I have no memory of this place.
That's going to be my life going forward. Your co-host, Julie.
Hello from the frozen north.
Apparently, it's not the only frozen place. Your co-host, Thorsten.
I'm under a thick layer of ice right now. Hello, by the way.
Your co-host, Jacob.
Do you see torpedo boats?
And your co-host, David.
Continuing from last week. Here comes the snow.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people are getting socked in right now. I feel for
Present
you.
company included.
I feel for you guys. One of the reasons I was so happy to move away from Pennsylvania is snow. I hate snow with a fiery passion. Hate it so much. I hate it almost as much as sand. I'm like I agree with Anakin in that thing. I really hate sand.
It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Uh-huh.
But I also hate snow. So now I feel for you guys because you guys are. A lot of you are really sound like you're socked in. I think 4 of us, except for Spaz and me, are dealing with snow right now. So you have my sympathies.
It's rather chilly.
You have my
To say the
sympathies.
least.
And it's just going to get worse as climate change just gets crazier and crazier. So
Yay!
enjoy the floods that are coming, my friends.
Hey, but in the short term, they made some profit.
Yay!
Good job. Good job for the shareholders. Good job. Don't we want to maximize shareholder value? Isn't that what we're all here for?
And yet the gas prices are still only going up.
Well, I mean, if a CEO doesn't have a record profit this quarter, what are we all doing? Well, I mean, if we're not supporting the landed gentry, what are we doing? I mean,
I would be pretty unhappy.
Anyway, enough of it. Welcome to Anti-Capitalist Cast, where we we rail against the ruling.
It's every day around here.
Wherein we rail against the ruling class and tell you where to find the best bargain guillotines. Anyway,
Guillotines in this economy?
you know what? If you buy the parts slowly over time, it doesn't cost as much.
Oh, like an IKEA brand guillotine.
Exactly. Like buy the blade.
Sure.
Buy the blade 1 month. Buy some wood the next month. Spread it out. Eventually, you have a full guillotine. And some places take payment plans. Anyway, I wonder what IKEA would call their guillotine if IKEA had a guillotine. What do you?
Louis.
Kake. Anyway,
It's Louis, but with like a bunch of umlauts over each letter.
hello, friends. This week we're doing a check-in. We decided for our mental health, and because they're actually fun to do, and because they're actually fun. Every so often, 4 to 6 weeks, we'll do a check-in where we talk about how we're doing, what we're playing. We'll talk to you guys in the chat about how you're doing and what you're playing. Just basically see how we're all doing, talk about what's going on in our lives, help each other, because that's the only way we'll get through this, until capitalism falls, is by supporting each other, and then when capitalism falls, we'll take up the torches and rakes and pitchforks and put the ruling class against the wall. But until then, we need to.
Can we fire them out of a cannon and into the sun? That would be great, right?
We'd have to build a cannon. Like, I keep thinking, whenever you say that, and other people say that, I'm like, how do we build a cannon that can fire something into the sun? That's a big cannon.
There is a Behind the Bastards episode about a guy who tried to build a cannon to fire into space.
Ooh.
How'd it go?
Oh,
I imagine not very well.
Probably not great.
Let's just say Saddam Hussein was involved, and it was the first.
Oh, that
War.
one. No, I know about it.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do not know this episode. You'll have to tell me later.
Okay.
Tell me off.
Yeah, we'll tell you later.
Because there's so many Behind the Bastards I haven't listened to. It's a bit, folks. Behind the Bastards is a podcast, and it's a tremendous podcast. It is. It will comfort you in the fact that nothing has changed, while also enrage you in the fact that nothing has changed. So it is a delightful.
Yes, very fun.
It's so funny, but also enlightening. Anyway, so we're gonna do these every so often where we talk about how we're doing and what we're playing. I guess I will start. I'm tired, you guys. I took a staycation at the end of December, which I thought would be like a week of nothing, but it was the opposite of that because my family is my wife's family is popular, and they actually have friends, quote unquote friend. Yeah, I know. They actually like know people. They like have friends since they've been in elementary school. Like, what the fuck is that? Like that's so alien to me. I'm not even kidding. That's so alien to me. I can't even tell you. But like Nicola's still friends with people since she went to elementary school. I'm like, how do you do that? So we had many social events with them. It's like, I just want to do nothing. Can we just sit at home and do nothing? And out of the entire week, there was only like 2 days where we did nothing. And I'm still burnt out. I'm still tired. I feel I need to set aside another week at some point just to do nothing. Because going on I went on a cruise last year, and that is not relaxing for me. I don't know about you guys, but traveling is the opposite of relaxing for me. I enjoy traveling. Well, I enjoy when I'm at a place, the getting to the place. I fucking hate all of that. Airports, airplanes, hate it all. But once I'm there, I'm okay. But like, I don't relax while I'm away from home and away from all my stuff and my cats, I don't relax. So I'm wiped. So I feel like I'm slowly recovering from that, but like, I'm just so tired, you guys. I'm just so tired. But it's not all bad. I'm just tired. Mostly. I'm just sleepy.
It's part of the reason we haven't had guests for a while. Well, we haven't scheduled guests.
It's not just that. Nothing has really excited me enough to want to have. I hate to say this, but like there's lots of good stuff coming out, but lately I haven't seen anything. It's like I want to talk to them. I just haven't felt that lately. Maybe it's because I'm tired and burnt out. Maybe it's a side effect of that. I don't know.
I think it's certainly a factor. Yeah,
it might be a factor, but like I haven't seen anything lately where it's like we got to have them on. Like I just haven't seen anything that's like gotten me like.
But
ooh.
to be fair, it's also part of the reason why we haven't done any LAN party streams in a while. It's for the same sort of reason. You've been burnt out, and that's been That's made a lot of other stuff just seem like, well, if we do that, we're devoting time to it, but is it going to be fun? It may still be fun, but not as fun as if it would be if you were not burned out. So maybe we'll return to those when you're not burned out. Maybe we won't. We'll just have to see.
I think we need to. I think at one point when we do, do I still sound garbled, Thorsten, or am I sounding okay?
For me, you sound a bit garbled.
Sounds good. There was background noise earlier, but it had stopped for now.
Yeah, I've tried my best to, folks. I apologize. There's construction going on, like right outside my window. I've done my best to filter it out as best I can, but you might hear some of it when I talk. I apologize for that. It might make me sound a little like because it's so loud outside, but it's inconsistent. Like right now, there's nothing. But there it goes. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there it goes. So I apologize for that. But the other thing with the LAN party is there an hour would go by and no one in the chat would say anything, which leads me to believe that very few people are watching. So I think we need to. I think it's not just my burnout. I think we got to maybe revisit that format. I'm not against going back to it at some point, but taking a break, I think, and reevaluating is a good thing.
How we do it, yeah, that might change.
Yeah,
and, maybe putting it to the community as to whether or not we do a return anytime soon,
and maybe have
let them vote on it, because if they,
and maybe have them vote on what we play. Like
that's a possibility.
Play what interests them, not just. I mean, we have a lot of varied interest, and we have a lot of. But maybe you guys don't want to see your EDF anymore. I don't know, but I mean. Maybe we talk to the community about it. Little inside baseball here, folks. Sorry. That's what these kind of.
Well, I mean, but this is also a thing where it's part of the community, because if we don't talk about this with the community, if they don't know why we're not doing it, then they're not invested in the idea of whether or not we return to it. So it makes more sense for us to talk about it like this.
Yeah, and I will be honest, it's been nice to have a break from it. I'll be perfectly honest. It's been nice to have a break from it, because like now my Fridays are like, oh, I can just get my work done. This is nice. So it has been nice having a break from it. But yeah, I have been burnt out, and it hasn't been fabulous, but I mean, there are things that are helping. Like I just discovered a show called Northern Exposure for the first time, which I had never seen, but it hit Prime recently, first time on streaming ever, apparently, because of all the music, and I liked it so much. I sought out the UK DVDs because that's the way you can get all the original music. It cost a lot more than the American DVDs. But I think it'll be worth it, because like I'm listening to it, I'm watching the episode, it's good, but then they start playing these covers of these songs. I'm like, what is this? Oh, music licensing. It's always fucked up with music licensing. So it was enough to be distracting. So I think it's worth spending the extra money to get a set, because I have a region-free player, which is nice. And I've returned to that's why I have Gunship streaming. I took a break from Gunship 2000 after I finished streaming it, because I didn't want to burn out on it, because I had been playing it a lot on and off stream. But after recording the footage for last week's show, I'm like, wow, I think this is what I've been wanting to be playing lately. So I started playing it on my laptop and my desktop and my Hand 386. I've got 3 different campaigns going. And you know what? I've really been enjoying it. I might find a way to get the same campaign on all 3 devices, and I think what I might have to do is put it on a USB stick. And then when I want to play on my Hand 386, I copy it over from the USB stick. and then copy it back when I'm done. Which might be a bit too much. I'm going to see how that goes. Because, the Hand 386 doesn't have any kind of online anything, so I'd have to actually physically copy the files over. I think that would be worth it. So yeah, I've just been returning to Gunship 2000, which I think I have now decided is my favorite flight sim. Like, period. Like, I think Gunship 2000 has become just my favorite flight sim / game, period. I just love it that much. So I've been playing that and Taxinaut a lot. Taxinaut had a big update recently where you can have multiple clones now, and you could also buy things. I don't know why they're called gongs. Excuse me. But if you eat a gong, you get a genetic bonus. Like maybe you can warp a little farther, or maybe you can scan a little farther. Like apparently they're like +1s to this and +2s to that.
Hey, Moskrow.
Hey, Moskrow. Speaking of Taxinaut. Yeah, I love that new update, man. So I don't know what the updates do. Like, I got a +1 to information. I have no idea what that does. But I've been enjoying the new update. And I bought a new house in the game. It's closer to the freeway. Hey, Ferd. EF2000 is still my favorite jet sim. I love EF2000. Don't get me wrong. But I think if I had to pick one sim to be stuck with on a desert island for the rest of my life, it would be Gunship 2000, because there's just so much to it. You could play this for years and never play the same mission. I mean, I'm sure it'll get repetitive after a while, but I just love it too much. And yeah, Mozgrom, it's always good to see you. But yeah, I've been playing basically a lot of Gunship 2000 and Taxion out of late, and I just they're both so good, and I can't wait because Inquisitor is going to have a new thing later this month where instead of a new season, I think the game is going to kind of go into maintenance mode soon, because there are not going to be any new seasons, but you can replay all of the old seasons whenever you want now. And they're also saying the offline mode is coming soon. So I have a feeling Inquisitor might go into maintenance mode soon. So I'll probably be playing a lot of that. Hopefully that'll lead to an Inquisitor 2. I don't know. I mean, the fact that people are still playing Inquisitor 1 6 years after it left early access is astounding to me. So that's great. So that's how I'm doing. And chat, please feel free to tell us how you're doing and what you're playing. This is about as much about you as you guys is about us. We want to talk to each other and see how y'all are doing. So please chime in and tell us how you're doing and what you're playing as well. So I guess we'll just go around the table, the virtual table. Spaz, like, how are you doing and what are you playing?
Been playing a lot of Sailing Era, streaming it on the Discord.
I saw that.
A lot is an understatement.
A lot is an understatement. Over the weekend, on one of the days over the weekend, it was a 14-hour straight stream.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I will keep on going with that.
And I thought I liked boats a lot.
Yeah. So Sailing Era is the main thing I've been playing recently, and that will change next week once Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth comes out, because then I will be streaming that on Discord every day.
That's out? That's coming out next week. Oh my God.
That will be next Thursday as we are live with this stream.
Oh my God, that close.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's in my library. It's pre-ordered. I am waiting to install it.
What is? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be nice not seeing you respond to external contact for about a week.
Oh no, I will be streaming it on Discord every day.
So that's the only way we'll be able to keep in contact with you.
Well, I'm already on Discord every day.
Touche.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah, I expect long streams, at least 8 hours a day, typically. Expect that.
Wow, that's. I wish I had that stamina, but I don't know if there's. I can't even sleep for 8 straight hours. You know, there's nothing I can do for 8 straight hours.
I don't sleep for 2 hours straight most days, so I have no idea what that's like. I literally have no idea what that's like.
Yeah. Side note, Mozgrom, I don't know if you can get an email for a Discord message, but you can get an email for, I think you can get an email for like when a YouTube person goes live or when a Twitch goes live. I think you can get an email or a notification about that.
If you subscribe to notifications, and there is a YouTube event, like when Brian creates the event for an upcoming stream, usually the previous day, you can click on the get notification for this, or reminder for when that happens. The other way to do it is if you have email notifications on for Twitch, then you will get that. You'll get that notification as well. It might happen 5 minutes into the stream, but you'll still get it.
You know what? It almost makes sense. I know Discord just laid a lot of people off, so this will probably not happen. But wouldn't it be I don't know if it'd be too much, but it would be handy if like you got an email when you were mentioned. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I might not be on Discord right now, but I got mentioned an hour ago. You know, like Slack
That sounds like a way to have your inbox be filled to the literal gills.
Yeah. Or maybe
it depends on how many servers you're on, because if some people do pinging everyone on their server whenever they post a game announcement and you're on a few thousand servers.
Yeah, there would have to be
customization.
There would have to be customization. Slack does that, which is handy. Like Slack will send you an email, hey, you've missed a few messages in this one channel. And that's handy because that's what we use for work. So so that's handy, but it would have to be very customizable if they ever implemented it, but they probably never will, because Discord, they're very slow on implementing features that don't cost us money. So as much as I would love like a calendar and a reminder system, it's probably never going to happen.
Right.
So yeah. So besides playing a lot of Sailing Era, you doing okay?
Yeah. Life is going.
Yeah, I know.
It is proceeding as quarantine has planned.
What did Martok say? Not my disintegration, but my something continues apace. How did he say it?
I think I know the line you're referring to, but I can't remember how.
It's when we first meet his wife. And
yes.
And he says like I can't remember it now, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's how our life feels sometimes for me too. It's like let me see it. Maybe I can look up the line. Anyway, yeah, no, I get it. My deterioration is proceeding apace. There it is.
There we go.
One of the best lines in Star Trek, if you ask me. I feel horrible that I couldn't remember it, but it's such a God, I love that line so much. So yeah, some days that's how I feel like my deterioration is proceeding apace. I get you.
That's part of the reason why I've been streaming as much as I have. I mean, it's usually about 8 hours a day, at least. Sometimes it's split into 2 sessions, but it's been helping with a lot of the stuff I have going on, that I'm able to focus and do that. Yeah.
No, I can totally understand that. So Sailing Era must be a pretty big game if you're able to stream it so much.
There are 4 main characters in the base game, 1 character added by DLC, and each one has their own story, which can typically be done in about 10 to 12 hours, give or take. But if you're doing a lot of other side stuff, side missions, there are plenty of those, lots of land explorations you can do, and discoveries to find, characters to recruit. I mean, you can literally recruit Blackbeard.
Yeah.
The pirate, Blackbeard, because one of the storylines is to attack the Spanish treasure fleet. And after you've done that, you can recruit Blackbeard because, well, yeah, that's something that he did, that he was involved with. Not necessarily the attacking the treasure fleet, but that area of the world. So it kind of fits in with that story. And there's an economic sim that goes along with that, where towns will go into a few months of economic boom or economic depression, and you can make a lot of money doing free trading. You can set up guilds. You can set up trade fleets once you've upgraded those guilds enough. You literally invest in the towns in order to build them up and get those trade fleets up and running. And once you do, they do trading for you while you're out in the rest of the world doing stuff.
Oh.
There's a lot going on, so many layers to it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm able to spend so much time doing it.
All right. I'll definitely get it next time it's on sale, because it does look
totally
great.
worth it.
and most of us love boats around here. Love boats. So so much good stuff with boats. All right, Julie, how are you doing, and what are you playing?
Well, first off, I want to say that it is Arctic cold here. Frosty the Snowman couldn't take this cold. Also, I will say my PTSD continues apace, but that is mostly because if the Congress of the United States doesn't get its act together by the end of the week, I may have a forced long time off.
Wait, I thought they dealt with that. Is it undealt with? I thought they voted to deal with that.
Yesterday, if they voted on it, it could be this morning. Yesterday, the OMB said that they had worked out some kind of a deal, but they had to vote on it, and because of inclement weather, all the offices in Washington, D.C., including our own, were closed, period, and they called off any vote. And if they have voted on it and passed it through the House and the Senate today, I'm overjoyed, and it won't happen, and that'll be great. Other than that, playing a little Conan Exiles. I understand there's someone in our community that wanted to play Conan Exiles. Started to use it as kind of a building game, and I thought, well, if I'm doing that, why don't I just play a city builder or something? And I went back to explore it a little bit. But the problem's going back with such a complex game is it's not like riding a bicycle. You got to kind of pick everything up again, and say, how does this work again? How does this work again? And I played it through, I guess, the proper way once, where they say, do all the quests, and get the drones to destroy all the humans. And like I said in another podcast, my work is done here. So there's one storyline I haven't played through that I've started, and where you go out and someone says, well, we don't think you'll ever make anything of yourself. And I forget the name of the alien race. And they say, here's a little factory lowest end for you. And here's a cargo ship. And here's a transport ship. Try not to blow yourself up. And so I started that. The other thing that's involved a lot of my time, and that is I've started to get comments back from the beta readers. So I started in on the edit that goes to the first editor, and it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And there's a tendency to go through it and say, wow, I really can't write worth a tinker's damn. But worked on the book for 1.5 years. So determined to get it out there this year, and all the deals to get it published are set up. Other than that, went back to a game I couldn't afford to play when I was growing up because we didn't have enough money, and now I can. And Spaz says he'll defend me if anybody says, it's a kid's game. I've been playing Pokemon Shining Pearl, and I have been enjoying it.
Which one is... Okay, when did that one come out? Because there's so many Pokemon games, it's a
Switch game that came out a few years ago. It's a remake of another Pokemon game from the Game Boy era, and I don't remember what it's a remake of, but it's kind of like a isometric 3D remake, which kind of put off a lot of players because they said, why are you going back to the whole isometric thing when they've got 3D now? But the problem with the 3D game is the people who made the game, last version is Pokemon Violet. They said, well, it's broken. We'll get around to fixing it one day. And I said, well, I'll get around to buying it one day after you get around to fixing it. And what we talked about in the other podcasts is that there is sort of a revival, I think, in older games and classic games that really interest people. Like say, well, it's an old kind of nostalgia factor, and isometric games is how I started out back when the two big games were World of Warcraft and Ultima Online, and so it's kind of nice to go back and a little bit of the old nostalgia factor as well. So that's basically what's been involving my time.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played a Pokemon game. God, I don't remember the last one I played. Oh, it was Pokemon Conquest, which I think is on the DS. Which is
on the DS, yeah.
Yeah, really good. It's like a Pokemon war game. It's so good.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, I was just going to say the last time I played one was decades ago on a 12-hour flight to Japan when I and everybody from our temple were kind of shoehorned into the cheap seats. And Game Boy didn't last all the way to Japan, but a good portion of the way.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you can. Could you plug those in to run them on a. There probably weren't plugs back in the planes back then, were there?
No, not at the time. No, I doubt it.
You'd have to bring a lot of batteries. A lot of batteries.
Yeah, I just brought batteries with me, and you bring that's your only option, and back in the day, because we're flying over the Pacific Ocean. This was like my first big trip that wasn't in OD Green, and I asked the stewardess. I said, "Well, where are we?" And she laughed at me, and I said, "Really?" And now, when you travel, they've got a little screen. You can bring it up on the back of the seat, and it tracks where you're at. And I said, "Yeah, see, told you, baby. That's see." Because a lot of people want to know. People are interested in where they're flying and if the plane goes down, where they have to get their way back from.
Well, a part of it is also because they integrated those screens in so that people who were because they added the ability to make calls. So you can make a phone call from the flight, and knowing where you are is a good way to be able to tell people who are going to be, say, picking you up from the airport or who you're meeting at the airport. This is where I am now. If you're having to make that call. That's one of the reasons why they added that in, because if they're going to add in TV screens anyway so that people can watch movies or TV on a flight, then they might as well be able to put in trackers for where the plane is now and integrate that so that, if people want to take a nap too, that's the other reason. Oh, I have another hour or so I can sleep. That kind of thing.
Halfway over the Pacific, 6 more hours go to Narita Airport. You may as well get some sleep.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't even imagine flying that long. No, thank you.
Well, the deal is I belong to a Buddhist temple, and, it's like this. Everybody in the Buddhist temple is going to the opening of what, if it were a Catholic thing, it would have been the Mother House. And it took the founder of the order like 80 years and between him and his daughter to finally build this thing. And it's like the size of Soldier Field. And so it's a big deal to go there. But most of my time has been involved in trying to get this book out. And when I started a year and a half ago, I had no idea it was going to take this much effort to get at least a good book out. So,
yeah, I know people who have written books and gotten them published. It takes a lot of work. All right, Thorsten, what about you? How are you doing, and what are you playing?
I'm starting with weather. We had a pretty interesting black ice situation today.
Oh God, I hate that shit.
Yeah, It was inches thick.
What?
I mean, the ground was frozen, and there was a lot of rain coming down on snow. I have to mention too, because that was really interesting this morning. But gladly, the situation didn't last that long. At least not that long as was expected. I mean, they expected it to last the whole day, and it was basically only a few hours. So we were lucky again. Personally, I'm struggling a bit currently. I'm fighting with my depression again. Yeah, that's. I don't know really the reason about it, and or why. I guess it was the whole situation last year that brought me to this point again. It's not as bad as it could be, but I feel it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
You can't do anything about that. Playing is interesting. I'm mostly playing currently Scavenger SV4. That's my winter game, as it seems, because I always play in December and January every year, and that's a lot of time. And another game I rediscovered. I've played it before and played it before on an Android device is Morphight. I'll link it in the chat.
What's it called? Morphight.
Morphight. Yeah, you did even a stream back then.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yes, that's a pretty interesting game. I didn't even know that it was published on Windows. I thought it was a mobile only. But it's pretty fun to play it again on a Windows system. And
I vaguely remember this game.
If you could describe it, it's like a No Man's Sky ultralight, very ultralight.
Yeah, it's very. It looks like it has creepy crawlies, but it didn't bother me at the time. Yeah. God, when did this come out? Oh God, 2017.
2017, yeah.
Oh my God, no wonder I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a pretty old game. Again, I've played it. I've played it a lot of times on my mobile device. And Julie, by the way, it's on the Switch. And I love a lot of the gameplay. I mean, it's a bit crude, but it's interesting enough. And and I love also the low poly graphics. I'm a bit of a sucker in that regard.
It's kind of funny. I would put this like almost the opposite side of the spectrum as Scavenger SV4. They're like two sides of a coin, because one is very terrifying and the other is very casual.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you could put it that way. I mean, both are about exploration. If you look.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I will never play Scavenger again. Oh my God. I oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
So the only real thing in Scavenger is that gets me every time is a jump scare if you get one of the certain artifacts you scavenge. But,
oh God.
The other stuff is pretty chill for me.
Just the way that thing was banging against the door, like, like just oh my God.
It just wanted to give you a hug.
Yeah, on my face.
His name is Billy. You just wanted to say hi.
It's cute.
No, it isn't. No, it wasn't. Oh my God, it was not cute. Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, my last episode of Scavenger SV4, if you want to go look it up, something came up with the probe I sent down to the planet. It started pounding against like the window of where the drone bay, and like I couldn't see it. It was just for 10 minutes, just knocking, like just an incessant knocking. And so I closed every door. I hope it couldn't get to me. And then this little spidery thing jumps on the window. I scream and kill the game. I will never touch it again. I will never, ever touch it again. If you want to see a laugh at what a wuss I am, go seek that video out, because you'll laugh at me crying at a video game for 20 minutes because it legitimately scared the pants off me. Like, it scared me so much. And it's a great game. I can't gush about it enough. Wait, Ferd, what? Hang on. Sorry. Ferd, you asked for a printed Starfleet 2 manual? How did that happen? Did you get a printed PDF or something, or? I don't know how you would do that. I guess you could take the PDF to a print shop, I guess.
That would be the most sensible way of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing that sometimes because it's cheaper to get it to a print shop or a copy shop and get it printed out there than to print it out on
logistics.
On your own printer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it's cheaper than trying to find a copy on eBay, or something.
Good luck with that.
I did see a copy of Starfleet 2 that was only the box and manuals the other day. And the person no discs. I don't know why you would need the discs, but the person was trying to sell that for $50. I'm like, no.
Goodness grief.
No, come on, man. If the discs aren't in there, don't be asking $50. If the discs were in there, maybe, even though there's no way to read them, unless somehow you can, I don't know, build a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive to USB thing, because you can't buy one.
I guess you've checked.
I have, actually. You can get 3 1/4 inch floppy USB drives. I'm not even making that up. You can, I don't know why, but you can, but not 5 1/4 inch.
Probably for legacy devices, I think.
Probably because they're
legacy machines. Yeah, because they can. Yeah. If you have a legacy machine, then you're custom built for that already.
Yeah.
All you need is a compatible external drive for older media.
Well, probably industrial machines as well, because the chip that my Hand 386 uses, they're basically built for industrial machines. And I bet you those
makes sense.
And my Hand 386 has a USB port in it, so it makes sense that those. It's like a whole computer on a chip, and it makes sense that they would build some kind of USB functionality in there. So probably for those things too, I would think. I mean, you hear stories about. God, what is it? Some school district somewhere in Illinois or something that's still running their entire student database on an Amiga. So
seriously? What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something like that where the school district is still running an Amiga for some reason. I think it's maintenance or the student database or something.
If it works.
Seriously though, I mean, but again, these industrial machines use old tech, but condensed into a single chip, and apparently it works. So maybe that's why they still make USB 3 1/4 inch, 3 1/2 inch drives. I don't know, but you could probably hook up some kind of 5 1/4 inch thing to a USB thing and make it work. I don't know why you'd want to, but you probably could. I wonder if that could be done. Anyway, so those are some good games, Thorsten. I really hope you do get a handle. I know you're working on it, and I do hope you get a handle on your depression. It does take a while. Don't get discouraged. It's easy for me to say, but I was there too. I was at one point, in the grips of horrible depression, and so I get it. It just, if you keep chipping away at it, you will break through. You just got to keep chipping away at it.
I mean, I was there before, but
you'll get there again. You'll get there again.
It's simply part of the game.
Yeah, it's just
let's put it that way.
it's different cycles. I'm sure winter isn't helping. You know, it's probably some kind of seasonal element there as well. So we're here for you, man, if you need us. And that goes
very much appreciated.
And that goes to the rest of y'all too. We really want to help support all our community's mental health. So if you need to vent about something, don't hesitate to hit us up in the Discord. You know, I mean, we're here to help each other. Again, that's how we're going to get through these interesting times we live in, is if we help each other. And it takes a village. I know it's a stupid saying, but it's true. It takes a village. Stupid saying, but it's accurate. All right, so Jacob, how are you doing, and what are you playing?
Oh boy. Well, for starters, I've been trying to not die of some kind of sickness for over a week now.
Oh crap!
Which has caused me to. Don't worry, I won't die, but I'm still sick.
Oh, so you did catch something. So you caught something? You have a thing?
Yes, I did absolutely catch something, and I've been unable to partake in lectures for a week at this point.
Oh crap! Are they letting you make up the work? Like, can you do it remotely, or how does that work?
Will have to. It works by virtue of I provided a doctor's note to my professors. And we figure it out when I'm finally back, which might still be a bit.
I know that feeling. When I was in middle school, back when I was a kid, I was out of school for 3 months at one point. Thanks to a doctor's note. So I get it. That was fun. The best part of that is when I got to go back to school and not take gym for 6 months.
Lovely.
I went to the library instead. That was such good time. Such good times. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's not COVID though. You just have like a regular kind of cold flu thing going on. Right? So it's not COVID what you have. It's something else, right?
No, I did test myself for that. It's something else. Equally annoying, but less deadly.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to be wearing masks forever after this pandemic because I've not had a cold knock on wood, in ages. And I think it's a lot of the reason is because I wear masks everywhere.
There's a reason why many societies in much of the world continue to use masks and use them well before COVID was even a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Masks freaking work.
You know, I lived in Korea for 1.5 years, courtesy of Uncle Sam's army. And when I was there, I noticed that very thing. It's like everybody wore masks. And I said, what is going on? Now I know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's consideration for other people, which is a thing that just so happens to be an alien concept to some people in the U.S.
We have such an empathy deficit. Such a deficit of empathy. I mean, around the world too, but it feels like it's very acute in this country. It feels very acute here. Maybe it's because I live here. I don't know, but it feels like we have a huge deficit of empathy in this country, and it's.
I will just say there are some Behind the Bastards episodes that lead to exactly why that is.
Oh, did you hear the one about Orange County recently?
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Yes. I mean, I knew I always hated Orange County. We're talking about Orange County, California, by the way, not Florida, FYI. Behind the Bastards just did a 2-part episode on how a lot of the modern American Republican Party got its origins in Orange County, California. And oh boy. I mean, yeah. I can't stand Orange County. I hate it every time I go there, and I'm going there again on Friday. Why do I do this to myself? But I didn't know how bad it actually was. Whew. Yeah. Well,
let's not go there. Is it a silly place?
Yeah. Well, Thorsten, I mean, you want to hear something funny? I'm from a town called Springfield. Laugh it up now. I know. Are the Simpsons from there? No. So I'm from a town. I'm from a town called Springfield. And in Pennsylvania alone, there are, I think, 6 Springfields. So, we don't have, not a lot of creativity here in America, where a lot of our city names come from other countries.
Take your pick.
Or state names come from other countries like New Jersey. So, anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. So anyway, so Jacob, I hope are you on the mend now though? Are you feeling better at least?
Better, yes. Great, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Fair.
I don't know about you. I don't get sick often, but when I do get sick, it's like it's catching up for all the time I wasn't sick, and it just knocks me on my butt. But it's also maybe because I'm male and we're notoriously babies whenever we get anything worse than the minorest of colds. At least in America, we are horrible babies. But yeah, when I get sick, it usually I'm out for a few days.
See, normally I don't get sick, and when I get sick, it typically isn't anything bad. But this time, somebody just decided you are not going to go outside for a week. Die.
Do they? Okay, so forgive my ignorance. Do they have flu shots over in Poland and all that stuff?
Yes, I am also a son of 2 medical doctors. I have every conceivable vaccine available in this country.
Okay,
I had them since they were available.
I don't want to assume, so apologies for asking.
We do. We know we have both. We have flu shots, so we have a thorough array of a wide array of various mandatory and non-mandatory vaccinations, and I have all of them.
Okay, so you have non-mandatory vaccinations because what I was thinking about, because apparently due to COVID, fewer and fewer people are also getting their flu shots here in the States, and I'm wondering if that's a worldwide phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like,
it might be a phenomenon here. It's not a phenomenon with me. I have no idea.
Well, I'm just wondering if because fewer people are getting these shots, is it making things more prevalent and easier to catch? Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm wondering.
Sorry, yeah, that's true.
No worries. No, it's late. It's late there. I get it.
It's late and I'm sick. Yes.
Yeah. So what are you playing? If you're since you've been sick, what have you been playing?
A bunch of stuff on and off as usual. Dominion 6 came out. It lives, and it is.
I saw you bought that.
I bought it.
I'm not gonna buy it.
I bought it, and I'm now slightly annoyed insofar as I bought it full price, and then apparently there was a 15% launch sale that the developers forgot to add immediately.
Oh, so can you refund it and then get the launch price?
I can, but I can't be bothered.
Fair. Utterly. I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
It's also Dominion 6. It warrants full price, even if it's $50 USD. But only to me. Yeah. Everyone else can go, oh yeah, that's a bit harsh.
I'm gonna be honest.
The game is very good.
I watched a Das Tactic video on it, hoping like maybe this time it'll click if I watch one of his videos on it. And I watched his video no, I just shouldn't. I'm just not. I've bought 3, 4, and 5, and I've never clicked with any of them. And I'm just like, okay, this is a thing I have to learn about myself. I'm not smart enough to play Dominions, so I'm just going to accept that and move on.
Now, if it makes you feel better, I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy it. And Dominion 6 has made... Okay, Dominion 6, I'm very happy because the game has made some adjustments that sort of tailor the preferred playstyles and how the game is supposed to be played roughly, and it's tailored them more somewhat towards how I played Dominions 5, which made me suck at it slightly less. I'm still not good at it, to clarify.
Is anyone, though? I'd hesitate to say.
There are some... Okay, no one has the game figured out because that's mathematically impossible. There are people who are good at it. I know them, and they're insane. They are genuinely inhuman.
By the way, Mozgram, I will brook no negativity toward Das Tactic. He is my favorite streamer, like, ever. I know he could spend a whole hour on a stream talking about the setup screen. I know this, but that's part of his charm. Okay.
I agree with the notion. I've been watching his stuff more recently, on and off, but I absolutely agree. He is a bit long-winded.
But again, part of his charm. No, I'm kidding. I get it. He's not for everyone.
Again, as the sort of person that plays and enjoys Dominions, I am perfectly fine with people explaining something for an hour.
He knows his
that's
audience.
The thing I've been playing.
He knows
that's the thing I've been playing mostly. I've actually been I've been enjoying it quite a lot. Besides that, a bunch of other stuff on off. I got into a tiny game that David is going to have an issue with because it's not on Steam, called Vintage Story.
Story.
Yes. Which how do I put this? You might look at it and see a Minecraft-like game, and you'd be right. But it's a Minecraft-like game for people who are insane like me. Which is to say, for people who believe that Minecraft had way too much weird RPG nonsense and is kind of way too sprawling and over-designed at this point, and instead want something where you have to spend like 4 in-game hours trying to gather up materials for a single pickaxe. But it is immensely fun. It is very in-depth. I would almost call it simulationist in some aspects. It also has...
Wow.
You found the itch.io page, yes?
This first sentence tells me everything I need to know that I will not be playing this. Quote,
yes.
Vintage Story is an uncompromising wilderness survival sandbox game inspired by Lovecraftian horror themes. Yeah, not for me. I mean, but
trust me, the survival sandbox. Trust me, the Lovecraftian horrors are less likely to kill you than a starvation cult. That's the kind of game we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love it personally, and I firmly believe that everyone in chat should at least look at it and check it out. And that most of you will bounce off of it inevitably. But apparently chat thinks it looks great. So chat. But those who like it will probably enjoy it.
I mean, if for a certain type of gamer like you, Jacob, it looks like it will be fantastic for you.
Yes, because it contains a mountain of nerd shit. And by nerd shit, I mean stuff like having to roughly understand how geology works to figure out where to find metals and ores and the like.
Oh, man. I mean, that's great if you want it. Oh, my God.
Or actually having to hammer out your equipment.
Oh, my God.
And have to figure out like metal ratios to smelt them into to smelt like copper and tin into bronze. Which, again, to me, really cool. To most people, insane.
I mean, again, I am super glad. Moscow's good.
It does have the upside. It does have the upside of having really good onboarding, including just a straight up and in-game wiki.
Oh, good. Oh, that's nice.
Both an out-of-game wiki and straight up a one-button access to a handbook that explains most of the stuff in the game.
Oh, good.
Barring some really obscure stuff.
Oh, good.
Nice.
I think more games need that sort of thing.
That is searchable and indexed and
oh, that's great.
Really well designed. Because despite being immensely complex, the game is not the game was not designed by a person who goes, "I made this super complex game. Go figure it out, idiot." No, the developer put in a lot of effort to make the game accessible by just putting in a wiki in the actual game.
I will watch the trailer when we're done, and because I might buy it just to support that stuff. Because
fair enough.
Like go ahead.
Hell, it actually got an update. It actually got a big update exactly 2 hours ago.
Oh. Well, I mean, I want to support developers that take the time to make stuff like that much in-game help. I really appreciate that. So
yes, I have been playing a lot of that recently because I just enjoy it.
Nice.
Besides that, on and off with a bunch of stuff. I know what I go back into. I figured out this interesting thing. Basically, I've been playing SWAT 4.
Ooh.
Which you are obviously familiar with.
Yes.
Specifically with the mod whose name eludes me.
Elite Force?
The very same, yes.
Yeah, that's the big
SWAT
one.
Elite Force.
Oh
which,
my God. Oh my
It
God.
is the big one. It is exceptional. It makes the game. It makes the game run better. It makes the game more interesting. It sort of it unifies the campaign. It adds more stuff. It adds more weapons. It's just, and on top of an extremely good base game, it just becomes perfect. And I mostly got back into it because, and I have to be slightly negative here, because of the release of Ready or Not, which
I was wondering if that was going to come up because, I'm ready for
I will
Not.
say, ignoring all the controversies, ignoring all the weirdness in it, ignoring all the like political adjacent stuff, which I could talk about, but I don't have the time for it. The game just isn't very good.
Oh, really? On top of all that stupid political bull crap that they've...
It looks really pretty, but for some reason, it has some fundamental issues. Like, you know how this is a SWAT game about interacting with people and, possibly shooting them? Every single AI in this game is terrible. Literally everyone.
And that's
your teammates are worthless. They block hallways. They stack up on weird things. And then on the other end of the spectrum, all of the enemy AI is like top of the line, 1,000 hours of Quake,
one shot
pro play.
One shot.
Yeah, with like literally 120 millisecond reaction times that can track you through walls. Six rooms over, can like deploy the perfect flanking route every single time. Genuinely, like you're supposed to be all due respect a police officer beating up and shooting a bunch of like petty criminals and weird libertarians. But it's like you're fighting the Navy SEALs, except the Navy SEALs' bloodstream is 75% methamphetamine.
Oh, God.
So yes, I've been playing SWAT 4 because of that.
I mean, the AI on SWAT 4 is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Friends, if you haven't played SWAT 4, we put a link in it. Get the gold edition on Steam. I mean, GOG. It is an exceptional first-person tactical shooter with not only is your teammates' AI exceptional, the enemy AI is really freaking good, and it's all randomized. And it has working
co-op.
And it has working co-op. Working co-op, and the AI is different every time. So the map might be the same, but the placement of the perps are different. How they react is different every time. So even though the map is the same, you'll get a different playthrough every time because of how different and it's not just the perps. The civilians can act differently every time. Like sometimes they'll just start yelling.
Basically everything except the actual layout is randomized in some way.
Exactly. Like sometimes you'll run into a civilian and they'll be like, oh God, I just want to get out of here. The next time they'll just start screaming at you and like you have to knock them out or whatever. It's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
And the Elite Force mod.
Get it instead of Ready or Not because again, even ignoring the weird politics stuff, which I don't know if I should ramble on about, but I can.
It'll get too negative.
We could take an entire podcast about that, and let's not.
Yeah. That's that.
The game itself just isn't very good as a SWAT game, so just don't bother.
It's a shame because SWAT 4 is it 20 years old at this point? It's got to be close to 20 years old at this point.
According to Wikipedia, it is somewhere in the ballpark of Google is not working.
Because I think it came out around 2004, right? 2004, 2005. SWAT
2005.
Okay, so it's almost 20. Oh my God, it's almost 20 years old.
Yes, 2005 with the expansion being released in 2006.
Yeah, and the expansion is great. So yeah, folks, get SWAT 4, get the Elite Force mod. It turns it into pretty much the best in class game like of whatever small niche genre it is. It's so good. So good.
Yes, better than Rainbow Six. Like if anyone chat,
Agreed.
I will fight you better than Rainbow Six.
100%. I mean, I didn't dislike Rainbow Six, but it's so much more fiddly and not as fun. And I just think
that's also the argument of which Rainbow Six, because there's been a lot of them.
Oh, there's been several of them.
There have been
a lot of them. But I honestly think SWAT 4, in terms of that first-person tactical kind of gameplay, yeah, I think SWAT 4 is best in class. Especially over, and I did like the Rainbow Six games and the Rogue Spears and those. But yeah, I think SWAT 4 is the best. That's great that you're playing SWAT 4 again. It's so good. That's awesome. All right, David, help us wrap up. How are you doing and what are you playing?
First of all, I'm having my second week on my internship place, and I think it's going pretty damn well.
Oh, good.
Which is pretty nice, I gotta say. It's nice when I actually know what I'm doing. That's new to me, and getting some appreciation for it. Today also we had some snow. So when my shift wrapped up, my car had turned into an igloo, so that was fun to
crap.
try to get rid of all the snow. I should really have taken a photo because it did look pretty funny. Like I couldn't see anything. I was like, yeah,
really?
my car's under all that snow somewhere. Let's start to try dig it out.
Oh no.
So yeah, I really should have taken a photo of that because that did look a little bit silly. For gaming, well, I've been jumping back to some games here. Let's see here, but mostly. Let's see here. Mostly lately, I've been slowly going through the Metal Gear Master Collection that came out last autumn here, which is a little bit. I guess some people would probably call it a controversial release because it's Konami and they're probably just in it for the money, basically. And but they have actually patched these ports, which is kind of interesting to see. Like they could have probably just took the money and ran, but for starters, for like Metal Gear Solid 1 here, when they released it with its Master Collection version, they had this blur filter baked into the game, so it was blurry. Yeah, it was really blurry for some weird reason because they probably didn't want people to see the jagged pixels or whatever, so they wanted to smooth everything out, which looked absolutely terrible. So when I bought the game and played it during the winter here, they actually add the functionality to change that, so you can disable that filter. So yeah, that's nice. And they did change something else as well. Like you can actually, for now, Fratars finally change volume controls inside the game. And something I noticed as well when I was playing the game, like there's something wrong with this port of Metal Gear Solid. I mean, there's lots of things wrong with the game. Like there's almost 1 entire second of input delay when I play. What is going on?
Oh man!
So I actually just looked it up when I finished my first run here on normal. Like, yeah, okay, what is going on here? Oh, yes, enter the menu controls and change the response speed from balanced to fast. What?
What?
I had to start up the game again, and yes, there's a secondary menu options screen inside the game compared to on the main menu, where you can change the response speed on the game to your inputs. It's as crazy as it sounds, and it's set to slow by default. So, wow, yeah.
Which causes a second of input lag.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
So when I disabled that, like, oh yeah, this feels way better now. Why isn't this the default? Why is this even an option? Oh, Konami, come on.
So
we're not done, I imagine.
I don't understand.
Didn't they also tie something to the frame rate? You know, the thing you never should do in a video game?
Yeah, I guess like most cutscenes are hard locked to a certain frame rate. And also here's another interesting thing with Metal Gear Solid 1 here on Steam, if you buy the Master Collection. And if we, like you and me, Jake, would download a game on Steam, we would get the European release. Why is that interesting? Well, it was made for 40 hertz monitors or television, which means we get a lowly 20 frames per second when we play the game.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. No.
But then they added the option to download the American version, which runs on 50 hertz, which should probably be like 25 frames per second. So we can just download that as a DLC for free, and then we get a little bit better frame rate. It's crazy as it sounds. Yes.
You have to download frame rate.
Yes.
No, it sounds like you have to download America. You're welcome.
The jokes write themselves, ladies and gentlemen. The jokes actually write themselves.
downloading
frame rate as a DLC.
You're downloading freedom, my friends.
Yeah, I'm at a loss of words, but I've given you my word, so there you have it.
All I can say is to bring back the words of James Stephanie Sterling. Thank God for them. Konami is Konami, and Konami is the worst.
Yep, basically.
Apparently, the Metal Gear Solid has VR missions in this collection.
They're not actually.
It's not
VR.
actually VR.
It's a DLC. It's in universe VR.
Yeah,
Oh.
They're basically. Don't worry, they didn't. They
should
didn't adapt the PS1. They did not adapt the PS1 game to virtual reality. Though that sounds like something they would have tried to do and inevitably screwed up.
They should clarify that.
No, if anyone who is familiar with the original Metal Gear Solid knows about the VR missions.
Yeah, VR missions are like add-on content from the olden days.
So basically 90s VR, like the show VR.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not like that at all.
It's in-game missions, but in like an in-game simulation thing that are like time trial missions, if memory serves, or like challenges.
Yeah, it's think holodeck kind of deal where you are.
Remember, back when the game was released, this wasn't confusing.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so it's so they're not really VR, they're like holodecks?
Kind of.
Yes.
Kind of.
Oh my god.
You won't know because you never played the
No, I didn't.
So that's why I'm saying this is confusing to you. It shouldn't be confusing.
We live in the future and we have to deal with the consequences. Some people didn't know that the future would happen.
When are we getting our Bell Riots? That's all I want to know. When are we getting our Bell Riots? And where's Channel 90?
I suspect there are groups of people who are going to look at any sort of popular uprising and say, "Is this the Bell Riot?"
There's a meme about that. It's that meme where a guy
already started. That's already started, and we're in January.
Yeah, no, there's a meme about that. It's that guy looking at the butterfly. It's like any, and the butterfly is any The Bell Riots were, according to Memory Alpha, were in September. So we've got a bit of a ways to go. But we also have the Irish unification to look forward to this year. So hopefully that'll happen.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, and apparently there's going to be a space mission with one of Picard's ancestors, apparently.
Oh, right. And the Borg. Is that when the Borg show up? No, that's later.
No, that's the 2050s after World War III, or 2060s, 2050s.
Oh, the eugenics wars, right?
No, World War III. That's a different thing. They're both.
That's different from the eugenics.
Both things happened in the Star Trek universe, apparently. The eugenics wars, but the eugenics wars
World War III, and somehow both were separate events.
Yeah, but now who knows? Because the timeline is a little screwy because people try to keep going back and change things.
I mean, let's be honest here. Since when is Star Trek known for consistency?
Yeah, I do like how they try. Yeah, I do.
Well, to be fair, DC Fontana did a hell of a lot for that to keep things consistent.
Yeah, trying. Like, it's been a mess, let's be honest here, since day zero. I
do like how they tried to deal with that in Strange New Worlds. I do like how they tried to address it a little bit. So that was kind of nice. But at the same time, yeah, you got 50 some years of lore. It's going to get messy. It'll get really, really messy. Anyway.
Bit of an understatement.
Yeah. Was that everything, David? Or did we wrap up? Did you wrap up? I don't remember.
Yeah, I guess I can just give my thoughts on the game afterwards. After all the freaking chaos I've gone through to actually play it, it's still pretty entertaining, I would say. The story is interesting.
It's Metal Gear Solid. It's hard to screw it up, even if you're actively trying.
Yeah, basically. But it's nice. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, would you recommend someone like me who's never played them jumping into them, or should I just? Because I don't have the nostalgia, or should I just
you don't have the patience, Brian.
But
yeah,
you don't have the patience.
Stealth game.
I would like to say that you probably could, with this collection, download the integral version and play it on very easy, which gives you an unlimited MP5 SD.
I do have a Metal Gear Solid game. I just never played it. What's the recent one? The Phantom Pain. I do, or Revengeance, or whatever that is. I have those, but I've never played them. I got them in a bundle or something. But I've never.
I mean, I personally think you don't have the patience for the stealth.
For what?
Again, for stealth. It's a stealth game. It's a stealth game.
It depends on the game. Like, I did finish the Thief games back in the day, surprisingly, but I don't know if I could play them now.
In that case, I'd say you should try it, and with that in mind.
All right.
This is the point at which I feel obligated to point out that the first 3 Metal Gear games are on Switch.
Metal Gear Solid, because yes, those are 2 separate series, except not really.
Wait, what? Metal Gear is different from Metal Gear Solid?
Yes, they are different.
With a side of yes, with a side. Let me explain.
It's nuanced.
Oh no, here we go.
So Metal Gear was originally on, I believe, the SNES.
I think
MSX.
MSX.
The MSX. Yes, the MSX, and those were the first 3 games. Like I believe 2 or 3 games on the series, and then the series got semi-rebooted / sequelized on the PlayStation 1 as Metal Gear Solid, but Metal Gear Solid is a sequel to the Metal Gear series. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's nuanced. It's nuanced. You probably won't understand it, and most people don't understand it, even if they love the series.
People didn't understand it at the time. You will not be far behind.
Okay, I will clarify by saying the Metal Gear Solid first 3 games are on the Switch. The first 3 as a collection.
That's probably this very collection I'm talking about here. So yeah.
Okay, that's wow. All right. Okay, I'm all right. Wow. That is confusing. I mean,
I was gonna say you get used to it. No, you just gotta.
You don't get used to it.
You just learn to not question it after a long enough time, because you realize there's no point.
How do you keep track of all these things? There's the Metal Gears, there's the Final Fantasies, there's the Pokemons. Like, how do you keep track of all these things?
You either do or you don't.
Fair.
And most don't.
Either you hyperfixate on these and you can recite every event from memory, or you just don't. You ask you people ask you which Metal Gear was first, 1 or 2, and you can't answer that because you're not sure. Because that's the level of convolution.
There is that one meme of there is that one meme of I know Final Fantasy. Okay, name 17 characters. Sid. Damn it.
Yeah, no, that's I did set the bar too low.
Yeah, because aren't the Final Fantasy games in different universes? So they're all
but there's almost always a character named Sid across almost every game.
Oh,
and it's a different
and it's a different character. Yeah.
Oh,
I say different because it's usually the same character archetype of an old guy tinkerer sort of person.
Oh boy. Okay. Wow. All right.
Look, it's and also no one knows what a horse is. Everyone rides around on oversized yellow turkeys. Those are the 2
that is a way to describe them.
Those are the 2 unifying factors. Except in some games, horses are real, but people use the turkeys anyway.
God. Wow. I love it. Well,
one of the great mysteries of the universe.
The horse is real.
The chocobo. I remember. The only Final Fantasy game I've played. Okay, I played Tactics on the Game Boy Advanced way back.
Really good?
Yeah, it was excellent. But then I played 14. That's the only 2 those are the only 2 I've played. I did enjoy them.
Also really good.
So wow. All right. I guess that's time to wrap it up. Yeah, we've been talking for an hour 20. We should wrap it up. It's late for you guys. That's gonna do it for today. Now, folks, tomorrow is iffy because they moved our usual work meeting till Thursdays, and I might want to just get up and do laundry because I usually do laundry on Thursdays. So we'll see how I feel in the morning. If I do decide to stream, it's going to be Patreon. If I don't decide to stream, well, we'll see you on Friday for more F117. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today, friends. Next week on the show, we're going to be talking economically focused space games. Something
Yay.
I have less experience with because I'm not very good at trading, but there are people, there are co-hosts and people here that are very big on it. So that's what we're going to talk about next week is economic and trading focused space games. So friends, thanks for hanging out with us today. Great chat as always. Please, if you haven't yet, we were talking about it earlier, get all your shots. Just get all your goddamn shots. Wear your masks. We're still in a pandemic. It's not over. We don't know when it'll be over. So just get your shots, wear your masks, take care of yourself and each other. For God's sakes, we live in a society. And thank you as always to our patrons who literally, keep the lights on around here. And with that, we'll see you back here next time, folks. Have a great day and be